Welcome to the History Channel. We will talk today about the Argentine War of Independence. Between 1810 and 1818, the Rio de la Plata erupted into revolution. The struggle for independence from Spain began with the May Revolution and unfolded across battlefields, provinces, and distant seas. This is the story of how a new nation was born amid political turmoil, military campaigns, and fierce ideals of freedom. The territory that would become Argentina was part of the viceroyalty of the Rio de la Plata, established in 1776, linking Buenos Aires, Paraguay, Upper Peru, the Banda Oriental, and other provinces under Spanish colonial rule. In the late 18th century, the viceroyalty of the Rio de la Plata governed the southern cone of South America. But Spain's power was shaken when Napoleon invaded Spain in 1808 and forced King Ferdinand VII to abdicate. Spanish authority across its colonies fractured, and the legitimacy of viceregal rule in America was thrown into question. Therefore, across the Atlantic, colonial subjects debated loyalty and liberty. Earlier, British incursions on the Rio de la Plata exposed the vulnerability of colonial defense and stirred local pride in self-organization. Buenos Aires' successful repulsion of invaders fostered confidence that the region could defend itself without Spain's direct aid. So now, with Spain in crisis, the question became, who should rule? On May 25, 1810, crowds gathered in Buenos Aires. In an open cabildo, citizens demanded the removal of Viceroy Cisneros. Therefore, a new body was sworn in, the Primera Junta. Though they claimed loyalty to Ferdinand VII, the path toward independence had begun. Not all provinces accepted the new junta. Some remained loyal to Spain, others formed their own juntas. Tensions with royalists escalated into armed conflict. The junta, under General Manuel Belgrano, sent armies into Paraguay and Upper Peru. The aim was to bring Paraguay into the fold of the revolutionary movement. However, Belgrano's expedition to Paraguay faltered, but in the north, the Army of the North fought on. In 1812, facing royalists advancing, Belgrano ordered the Jujuy exodus, a scorched earth policy to deny the enemy supplies. On September 24 and 25, 1812, the Battle of Tucumán happened near the Argentine city of San Miguel de Tucumán. Belgrano's forces stood firm, securing victory. On February 20, 1813, the Battle of Salta was a decisive victory for the Argentine Army of the North, led by General Manuel Belgrano, against the Spanish royalist forces commanded by General Pío de Tristan. While the North was contested, the Banda Oriental, now Uruguay and Montevideo, remained royalist bastions. The revolutionary forces sought to wrest control of the Rio de la Plata by capturing those strategic points. By 1816, the revolutionary provinces convened in Tucumán. After a heated debate for 9 hours on July 9th, they declared independence, formally severing political ties with Spain. No longer in Ferdinand's name, the provinces of the Rio de la Plata stood as a sovereign nation. Yet danger lingered. Royalist strongholds in Upper Peru remained, and San Martín knew a bold plan was needed. To strike at the heart of Spanish power, José de San Martín proposed crossing the Andes to liberate Chile and weaken royalist control from the Pacific. He organized the Army of the Andes. In 1817, they crossed icy passes to liberate Chile. It was one of history's greatest military feats. Though they suffered setbacks at Chacabuco and Maipú in 1818, the victory was decisive. From there, San Martín looked toward Peru, the heart of Spanish rule. Not every confrontation went in favor of the Patriots. In March 1818, at the Battle of Cancha Rayada, San Martín's forces suffered a surprise defeat in Chile, though they later recovered in subsequent battles. Meanwhile, Argentine naval forces under Hipólito Bouchard struck far abroad, even briefly capturing Monterey in California. By the end of 1818, Spain's power in the Rio de la Plata was broken. Internal conflicts over centralism and federalism soon tested the new republic. From the revolution in Buenos Aires to the high passes of the Andes and across the Atlantic's political storms, Argentina's path to independence was arduous and uncertain. But by breaking the chains of colonial rule, a new nation emerged, tested, conflict-riven, but ultimately free. This is more than history. This is the foundation of Argentina's identity. Thank you for watching.